Hello Capricorn. I just started your reading and it did exactly the same thing that I'm about to tell you. The reason you are so late is because something's going on where I couldn't get a reading of yours to finish. Either it cut off the sound or it cut off the video halfway through, or the doorbell rang, or something happened where I just haven't been able to finish it. And when I pressed play, or record in this case, it did exactly the same thing. It just kind of went, no, I don't feel like it. So let's have another go. Now, because you're so late, I thought I'd do something special for you and do a year reading. And we'll see what's going on for you this year. And we'll go from there. I hope you like it. All right, what I'll do is I'll just come a bit closer to you so I've got more room to spread out. What I'm going to do is a 12-month spread, and then we'll get some clarification around each position. So bear with me. Okay. Yeah. Capricorn. Capricorn for 2021, please. Right. Okay. I've got it. Alright, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Wonderful. Using your skills. Working and succeeding. Very nice. Alright, so January. Two of Wands. February. March. April. May. June. July. Let me see. Nearly. August. September. October. November. December. Yeah, we're going to get some clarity on these. Okay, so January, we have the Two of Wands. So this is the month you get to spend choosing where you're going. Wonderful, I like that. Deciding which direction you want to go and planning, preparing. If you're watching this around the new moon, it's also an extra good time to do that for the year forward. Let's just see what you might be deciding around, Caps. There is something about your reading that you may not want to hear. I keep getting a really dry mouth. You know when you're nervous to say something and your mouth dries right up? You've got the double rainbow for January: divine intervention, duality, perfect timing, ascension, serendipity, good luck, and cohesive. Now, tell me, where are you? Tell me that that's not a beautiful way to start the year. When you decide which way you go, when you put your plans in place, don't hold back. Don't doubt that it's coming. Don't doubt your worth in what you want, and go forth as if it's a given that you get this year whatever you want. It's going to be a great year, and you just You just get to move forward. This is very Capricorn. And you get to move forward in the direction of your dreams. Now, February, we have the Hermit, wisdom of solitude. Caps, when they're concentrating on working, can be very focused. They like a direction to head, and that's where they go, head down, forward march. Sometimes this can see you as a bit introspective, introverted, or solitary. So if part of your plan is to move forward, in February you get the chance to use that time not only to work towards where you want to go, but to seek within yourself the wisdom that you want to realise to help move forward, to better yourself in moving forward. And this is a form of transformation for you. So it's a way of looking how you can use last year's learning and this year's insight to transform into the world you want to be, the world you want to live in. Yeah. Okay, in March, you've got the Ace of Wands, which is beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's at the end of the first quarter of the year. It's at the beginning of the new season. And once you've decided your dreams and you've taken time out to realise what's in you and what you're capable of in order to get that, now you can move forward in it with passion and action and drive and desire. It's really lovely. Clarify March, please. March for Capricorn. What's coming up in March for Capricorn? A lot. Yeah, a lot. Okay. So what happens when we've got stalemate, butterfly, tower, Uranus, Princess of Water, which is also Pisces, and the Fox. Now, what happens when you decide to move forward is that some people might not like it. So sometimes you might be required to outwit them. There might be a bit of a standoff. So with the Ace of Wands, you are more than capable of seeing the pieces and being able to see ahead of where you need to go and how you need to overcome them. You might have to do this on your own, and you might have to overcome almost a big corporation or a boss. You might be leaving work in order to follow your dreams, and you have to you might have a standoff of how you leave and what you're able to take with you. This is definitely going to happen in March because that's Pisces time, but be careful because there might be some things that you haven't seen that they're trying to keep from you in all of this. Just cross your T's and dot your I's as far as reading the fine print, and make sure they're not trying to bamboozle you or anything, because they can be crafty in protecting their own interests, especially if they feel you as a loss and they react defensively or, really like the sour grapes story of the fox. The Aesop's fables where the fox sees a whole bunch. I'm paraphrasing. The fox sees a beautiful ripe bunch of grapes and really wants them, so he tries to jump and can't get them. He tries to climb on something and still can't reach them, but he really wants them. And after trying to get them and not being able to, he turns sour, which is where the term sour grapes came from, and says, well, I didn't want them anyway. They were probably sour, so I didn't want them. And that's how people can act. If you don't give them what they want, they turn it around on you as if, well, I didn't want you anyway. So, and they can say quite horrible things to you, as if to say, well, you're not good enough, or they might try and turn it around on you. Just be careful with what you're going to have to go through in order to follow your dreams in March. There will be very good things coming after that for you. There's a big change which will help you step into what you're meant to be doing and to fly and to be this reborn person that you were meant to be all along. And before this, you were in your cocoon and you were kind of being forced to keep wrapped in somebody else's ideas. But after you break free of these ideas that have kept you enclosed all this time, you will be able to show your wings. And then a big surprise is coming, because you'll be able to start fresh and you'll feel completely light, and as if you don't have that baggage hanging on to you to keep you heavy. You can travel light. March is going to be a really interesting month for you. April, we've got taking a stand, 7 of Wands. This is defending your position. This is standing up for yourself. And it could be a bit of a carryover from March, where some people try to publicise that you were the bad person, that you were the blame. You were the bad one out of the two. They were the good one and you were the bad one. Or some people might be frightened for you that you've gone out on your own, and that they try to convince you that it's not the right direction for you, or to stay safe. Why don't you get a job doing what you know? Why don't you stay in this safe position? It could also be a relationship, but I don't think that's as clear as your either career direction or your personal values and beliefs and integrities direction. So with the 7 of Wands, that's saying, this is my decision and I'm good with it. Thank you for your concern, but I'm actually good with it. And if people are spreading rumours, then the truth always comes out. And I will just move forward in the direction that I wanted to, because they can't. The more you take away their power, the more you say, whatever, Let them have it. Let them say what they want, unless it's really bad, like completely defamatory. Then most of the time, when you let them have their whatever. Let them have that nasty. Then it takes away the power of what they're doing. It just, and if someone comes to you and does the whole, well, they're saying this, you can say, well, let them have it. And the person saying it to you will know just from your reaction that it's not true, and they can say what they want because it's not affecting you. But you don't have to say any more than that. You don't have to, your way of defending yourself is to know that you've crossed the bridge and you're on the other side. You've made it. You're on the other side of this. You don't have to burn the bridge. You don't have to make holes in it. You don't have to deconstruct it. You just know, and that's your defense. That is the way you defend your decisions, is just by knowing that you've made the right choice. This is the Judgment card, and it is the Rebirth card. It's your chance to make a choice. It's a real choice. Do you get involved with this and argue back? Or do you rise above it and just move on in the direction that you want to go? There's some, it's destruction, creation, destruction of the old and creation of the new. And this is heeding the call. And heeding the call in this case is following you, following your soul's path. So then where are we up to? January, February, March, April, May. May is the Four of Swords, where you take some time out for yourself to just go over where you've come from, where you've been, where you want to go, and up until now you've been doing really action-orientated things, taking action, big choices, big movement forward. And so in May, you might get the opportunity to just slow down a bit, take some time out to reassess where you've been going, how you've been going, and all the achievements you've made. Great, movement forward, excellent. And really give yourself some credit for what you've been achieving and the differences you've made. And then to meditate on where you want to go from here. A good plan will be reevaluated and tweaked all the way through. Clarify May, please. Yep. I love Spirit. So while you're taking some time out, you might, when you're really active and you're in that forward movement kind of energy, where you just you don't see what's, especially Capricorn, you don't see the big in front of you and you don't look back, you just one step at a time, moving forward. And when you actually stop to pause, then you might look up and see the mountain, or you might look back and see things that you hadn't noticed on the way up. Now, this is also a time, recovery and retreat, it's also a time to allow yourself time out to go through, emotions that you mightn't have paid attention to at the time. If people try to put one over you, or especially in positions like work, in positions like your career. I know a lot of people who work their ass off. They are loyal, they are dedicated, they care about the company, they put so much of themselves into it, and then they get shafted. Either they're not wanted, or their work is taken, like somebody else takes credit for it, or they're not appreciated, or when they finally decide to move on, it's like they've stabbed their employer in the back, who's never given them any gratitude or reward for all their hard work, and then they seem to get shocked when you decide to leave. That can be really grief-inducing, because not only do you have to go through the grief of letting go of your job, which quite often is a big part of who we think we are. So we have to grieve that. But we also have to grieve the lost hope, the value that somebody else put on us, or the lack of value. And we have to really take some time out to see our own and realise that that's my dog's playing. Take some time out to work through that. The many ways to do that. This is the Prince of Fire, which is, usually the Knight of Wands. It's a very masculine energy. Now, it's quite often known as the Rapid Forward Movement card. And I love this because it's not straight ahead. In this case, it's very like this. So you might be up and down with your emotions, and at times you might want to make rash decisions, and at other times you might want to make decisions from emotion based, or Sagittarians are very fair. They like fairness and they hate lies. So while you're trying to, not Sagittarius, yes, Sagittarius, sorry, having a mind fart. They hate lies, so it might come up for you that something tweaks, that you're really angry at the bullshit they've been spreading. Now, like sorrow, let yourself feel that. Don't act on it, but let yourself feel that. And the other thing about this card is that it's the Temperance card in the Major Arcana. And that's all about balance, give and take, flow, even keel. So while you're going through this, time out and reassessment, try and look at both sides so you do stay even as you keep moving through the year. And this is beautiful because it will keep you on the right track, and it will keep you in the direction you want to go. Slow and steady, very Capricorn. Not as slow as Taurus, but right. That's May, June. Nice follow on to this is release the past. That's the Death card. And see her wings. See her wings coming out of the cocoon. You can't fly unless you break free of what's holding you back. So in order to release the past, you have to go through this period of recovery so that you can actually let it go. And that is a beautiful follow-on from May. But it's picking you back up and moving you forward after time out. And so you needed that to keep your eye on the prize. Clarify June, please. Also the end of the financial year. Yeah, I mean, you've got so many beginning cards in here. Like really beginning cards. Loads of them. So another one is, you've got this like slight tangle with the leftovers. But if you look at things differently and curiously and innocently, like excited, it's this real, and this is carefree and spontaneous and tender. Have you ever noticed, and this is, look at this. This is the tangle. This is the tangle, and this is what you're doing like with a child's mind, innocence and excitement and release and all of that. So have you ever noticed that with a knot or a tangle, if you pull it tightly and try and untangle it that way, it just gets tighter and tighter and more constrictive. But if you get curious and you kind of open it up a little bit, you can see where it's knotted and you're more able to release those knots than you were if it's all in one great big bunch. So this is where you're heading in June, and this is a beautiful flow throughout the year. In July, you've got another ace. And this is where you start coming into your own. Ace of Swords. You really know who you are, what you think, what you've learnt, what you've gained from insight and awareness. You've really taken that and decided, once you are flying, that this is me, this is the embodiment of me and my truth. It's absolutely this. And you will be recognised for this. You will not have to deal, if you choose so, you won't have to. God, I love spirit. I just love it. You won't have to acknowledge those anymore, because you'll be gaining attention for what you're meant to be doing, and it will be positive attention. You will be like a magnet to people. You will draw them in because you are in your authenticity. It's the energy you give up when you stand true to yourself. It's just a knowing. It's just a deep knowing that this is right. This is where I'm meant to be. And this is how I'm meant to sit. And so that is incredibly attractive to people. Let me just move my incense out of the way. August is the opportunity to reap what you've sown. This is the Seven of Pentacles, and it usually talks about planting seeds of intention and being patient and watching it grow. And this is where August you're going to start harvesting. You're going to get the chance to harvest. And for those in the Northern Hemisphere, this is around the time that the harvest starts. So this is perfect timing for you to, once you've started, you've really stood in yourself, which is also at the beginning of the financial year. So you might choose to work through this and then step it out on the start of the financial year. But you've been, up until now, working and planting and growing and really nurturing where you want to go and how you want to get there, and removing the bugs and the insects along the way. So please clarify the Seven of Pentacles. August. There you are. Yep. Look at this. This. On a quest, migration, relocation, dependable, know where you're going, cyclical and faithful. That's you. You know where you're going. You've grown it. You've moved through the cycle of deciding and dealing with issues and nurturing, and now reaping the rewards. And you've been authentic and you've been faithful to that, and you're moving ahead. You're moving in the right direction for you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. September, we have the moon, which is, in this case, a deep desire. It could be something you don't even know, you're not even aware of, that you have and that you want. Excuse me. It could be, when you know where you want to go and you know that that's a pull, that's a real pull for you, but you're not quite sure why or where it's coming from. Well, that could be the stuff that you're unaware of, where this desire came from. Something about this incense, I moved it over and now it's going in the other direction. So maybe it's trying to clean you as well. I just put him down there. September. Sorry, keep losing track of my months. That's not very good. Okay, let's see what this desire is straight out. Thank you. Look at the colour in this. You've got dolphins. So peace, harmony, helpful, effective, communication, playful, humour, fun, collaboration and joy. Now, if that's not the direction to head, I don't know what is. And that's basically what the deepest want for everybody. Because all of those things come from a place of love. They don't come from a place of fear or hatred or anger or aggression, which is basically all stemming from fear. This is what you're reaping. This is what you're reaping. This isn't loud. This knowing is loud. But the magnet that is pulling people in isn't loud. It's soft and it's subtle and it's got this. It's like a pull to what people really desire, like their deep desires. And you're giving that to them. Look at that. This is what their deep desires is, and that's hidden. And this is what you're giving them in September. You're helping them birth what they haven't seen before, what they don't know. And you're going to do it beautifully. You're going to do it in a beautiful way. So that's lovely. October, which is the end of autumn in the northern hemisphere and the end of spring in the southern, and it's a perfect time to shake things off and let them go. And anything extra weighted that you've been carrying, it's time to put that down. Because the other thing is, when you go through a year like this so far, it can be weighing down. Like you've got concerns and worries and how to's and am I going to's and what abouts and working through all those, especially if you're learning something new. You know, it can be quite heavy going if you're really learning something new, setting up a whole new system of doing things, and all of that can be heavy. But once you get over here, you've kind of got it. You've reached the point of what you're doing. You're doing what you wanted to do, and you are starting to flow into that. And so you get to put this down. You get to relax into it and put all of that down. And you also help other people to put it down. Clarify October, please. Clarify October. So letting go of things that isn't, like stuff that isn't yours. See the way she's like, that's not mine anymore. You can have it. What's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. That's your shit. This is my shit, and I'm not dealing with your shit anymore. Baggage, burdens, guilt, shame, and regret. But there's a good sign or omen from that. And look at the albatross. That's flying free. Now, I'll tell you another thing, which is why I smiled. 21 is not only is this the year of 2021, it's a really good time to shake that shit off. But on a side note, every time I see the number 21, it relates to my grandmother. And she was the one who saw me that nobody else saw. She saw me. And putting down your burden is exactly shaking shit off. Letting go of what isn't yours. Stuff you've been carrying forever. Beliefs of other people or expectations of other people or what's been demanded of you. And you now get to get the omen or the sign. It's not an omen, it's a sign that you are who you were meant to be all along. And that is beautiful. And learning, one of the best things you can learn is what's yours and what's not. And that's really important. In November, coming up towards the end of the year, you've got nostalgia. Looking back and reflecting on tradition. Yeah, this is a good time to review your year. See who's helped you and who hasn't. See what routines you want to carry and what you don't. And look if there's any traditions that you want to keep or if you want to start your own special traditions. Or in this case, it's kind of like a follow-on from what I was just saying. Sometimes when you get messages, you will remember certain traditions that made you feel special, that made you feel authentic in who you were, and made you feel like you were enough. And you might want to restart those traditions. Next card that comes out for that is wine. Developing over time, improving with age, something to celebrate, family legacy, the good stuff. Keep the good stuff. Now, December is the Tower. Discovery, change, adjustment. After doing the reviews, you get to see what's working and what's not. Now, the Tower doesn't have to be bad. It can be good. And it also could be the last hurrah of anything you've been hanging on to that needs to go. And that brings you into another completely fresh start for 2022. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good Tower. So taking a leap of faith, letting go of what was, bringing prosperity and luck. This is a good surprise. It's luck. You're going to have this real boon of it's the universe's gifting for you manifesting what you're deserving, instead of manifesting old beliefs and old thought patterns and old noises. This is the reward for you manifesting that. And it's a nice birthday present too for you, my Capricorns. All right, to finish off the big read, it is a big read for you. I'll just get a Sacred Earth Oracle. Of course, you are an Earth sign. So let's see. Capricorn for 2020, please. 1. Capricorn for 2021. Sorry, wash my mouth out outside. Capricorn for 2021. It's a lovely year for you. Efficiency. And it's a pentacle. This is going to be a good year for you. It's going to be a really good year for you. And you're going to have what you need to handle it, to move forward with it. You're going to do it appropriately to gain the most out of it. So don't doubt yourself, and don't doubt that you deserve all of this and more. All right, my loves, I hope this helped. Please let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye.